What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I wanted to incorporate the J6, which Roland have sent me and have asked me to do a few videos about. So what I thought I would do is try and snipe a chord from this and get that set up on the SP404-MK2 and then hopefully build a beat around that chord. Now what I plan to do is record just one chord into this and then use the chromatic mode in order to flesh it out and make a melody. So I've done a bit of digging through the presets on the J6, and you can hear here I've got this chord. It's really nice, it's got kind of that jazzy feel to it, and basically I just scanned through all the presets, and then later as well I changed the genre, and I just kept changing the genre until I found a chord which I kind of liked. So this is a really nice sounding chord. It's going to need a little bit of work to get that volume up, but we'll do all that with the MK2. So let's get that recorded in onto a pad. Okay, and I left a nice long tail on that so that when I use it in chromatic mode, hopefully we don't get any problems with it cutting off too early. So the first thing I'm going to do, like I said, with the volume is sort that out. So let's hit the pad and we'll go to start and end, and you can see that the waveform is a little bit disappointing. So let's go in and normalize that. Really simple stuff, and now we should have a nice loud chord. There we go, that's sounding much better. Now further down on the same bank here, I've got some drums. These are from my Lo-Fi Drums Volume 5 pack. If you want to support what I do here guys and keep me making these videos, head over to spvids.com. All my packs are available there. This is a kick and a snare and a hi-hat which are in that pack. So they sound nice and punchy. They haven't had any effects done to them yet. The only thing that I have done is made these mono, because these are actually stereo samples that come in the pack. The way that you can do that with the MK2 is go to pitch and shift, and you hit shift, and you can see here it changes to pan. And if I go all the way to the left, it gives me the left mono signal. If you go all the way to the right, it gives you the right mono signal. So I'm going to go to the left. That's the one that sounded the best for that particular sample. And yeah, all those sounds are now mono for me. So the first thing that I'm going to do is kind of think about some sort of tempo that I want this beat to be at. Okay, that sounds pretty good. So we'll go to tap tempo, which is shift and 11. Okay, 76 seems a little bit lazy, so I'm going to go for 78. So let's just turn that up to 78 for the bank. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is get a drum loop recorded in there. So we're going to go to pattern mode for this. I'm going to go to F, record. I'm going to go to 1. I'm going to set this to 4 bars. I'm going to have the quantize to 100, and that's just going to be for the hi-hats. And what I'm going to do when I'm recording these hi-hats is use 16 velocity to get a little bit of groove as well. So let's hit record. We'll select the hi-hat, and we'll make sure we go to 16 velocity. We're just going to have to wait for this to come back round. Okay, great, that sounds like it's done. And to save myself getting things wrong, having to use the undo feature, or just messing around deleting stuff, what I like to do is make copies. So I'm going to make a copy of that. And now what I'm going to do is just put in a couple of kicks that are quantized to keep the whole thing in time and not too sort of drunk and lazy. I don't like things getting too lazy. So I'm going to put those in. And I believe this is kind of a Dilla technique to sort of quantize the first kick and then just take quantize off to do the rest of the kicks. It's going to give it that rigid loop, but it gives you some freedom for the rest of the bar as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go to record and we'll go to 2, which is the copy we've made. We're on 100% strength. So let's go record. Okay, and that's perfect for that. So we'll copy that again. And now what I'm going to do is fill in all the gaps in between that with the kick and the snare at the same time, and we can do that without quantize on. So let's go to record in 3. We'll take the quantize all the way off. We'll make sure grid is off completely, and let's record the rest of this and try and get some groove into it. Okay, really happy with that. That's got a lot of feel in it. It's got a lot of groove in it. And even though quantize the hi-hats, which is, you know, some people might say that's not good for getting groove and feel, I still think there's a lot of groove and feel in that. That's come out really nice. I like that. So we'll go ahead and copy that again. And we'll put that down here now. So this is kind of the start of a new lane of patterns that we'll be working on. So we'll come out of this, and what we're going to do is get this chord, and we're going to go into chromatic mode. And you can see I'm already in minor. If you want to change the scale of what you're working in, you just hit the value wheel. You can see there Dorian, don't ask me to say that one, chromatic and major, and yeah, I'm going to go into minor. So some really nice sounds on that. We can also turn off gate as well, that'll probably help. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? So let's go back into pattern mode. We'll make a copy of this drum loop, and now we'll record a pattern over this. So record, and we'll put the strength up to 100 for this as well. And let's go into chromatic mode. Okay, straight away, really do not like that. So what we can do now is just delete that pattern and make another copy, and we're good to go again. It just saves a lot of time making copies of your progress of your patterns. And the next thing that I'm going to do is add some horn stabs to this. So we're going to come out of pattern mode again. Let's go to the import area, import from SD card, sample. I've got loads of horns saved here. And this one's always a winner for me. So we'll put this one in. And let's just see what that sounds like straight away. This horn seems to fit all the time. There we go. I think that fits. It always seems to come up, that horn sound. It always seems to just gel nicely. So we're going to go ahead and record that. And I'm going to use 16 velocity like I did on the hi-hats to mimic a fade. So to show you what I mean there, we'll select that pad. We'll go to 16 velocity. Make sure gate's off. Now you do have to watch out with this mode, because I find that if you go 4, 7, 10, 13, which is kind of what you do on the MPC, the last note is always way too quiet. So what I do is 4, 7, 10, 15, and that seems to give it a more natural sound. I'll show you what I mean here. So this is like the bad way. See how that just seems to die really suddenly? That pattern seems to give you a way more natural feel. So 4, 7, 10, 15, that's onto a winner. So what we'll do here is go into 7, we'll do record 7. And yeah, we will quantize this just to see if this makes it in time. And again, we're going to have to wait for it to come back around again, but it's not too much of a big deal. Okay, that went down quite nicely. So that's a really old school kind of boom bap sound. It's an old boom bap technique as well to get that sounding like it's fading out. You can play around with those dynamics to your heart's content and get the right sound that you want. You'll hear horns layered like that on boom bap all the time, sometimes multiple horns. I absolutely love the sound of it, and I've been loving boom bap at the moment, so that's why I've included those. So now, I think one thing that I might actually like to do is add some sub, so I forgot about that, so maybe we can carry on a little bit, make another copy, and we'll try some sub. So again, I'm going to go into import from SD card sample, and in another one of my packs, which is Lo-Fi Drums Volume 4, I've got bass notes. So that's also available on spvids.com, links in the description. So let's see if we can make this work with this pattern as well. Now, big caveat, I'm really no good with low end, and every time I try and tune a kick to a song, it seems like every single pitch actually works. So we'll go ahead and give this a try. I'll put it in chromatic mode and see if I can jam something out. Okay, kind of like that, so we'll go to record. Okay, and let's do a very, very quick bit of mixing. Obviously, I'd like to spend a good sort of half hour, 45 minutes probably getting all these sounds right. I'm obviously not going to show that on this video, but yeah, let's turn that horn down a little bit. That was coming out a little bit loud, so let's turn that down to about 30. We can't get these drums any louder, but what I'm going to do is use my bus 3 and 4 to add some compression. And there we go, I've got a preset there. My favourite 4 is just nothing on bus 3 and then some 303 vinyl sim, and that's got 72 compression. That's quite high. I might turn that down a bit. Let's do 55 if we can get to it. There we go. So that's currently off, so I'll play the beat with it off and then I'll play the beat with it on. Okay, and one thing I've noticed there is I actually ended up only recording the bass on the track with the horns. I wanted that to be a variation, so one last thing that I'm going to do, I promise this is the last thing now, so copy that one, we'll put that on 9, and I'm going to have to go through and manually delete these horns, so we'll go record there. Okay, so we've got that now as well, that's great. So I think we should have a good combination of variations here. So let's go to Exchange and exchange some of these things around. So I should have just the drums and the chords with no bass, which is quite cool. Then I've got the drums, chords, bass, and then I've got drums, chords, bass, and the horns. So let's play that through, and I'll leave the video there, guys. I hope this was useful. This is going to be a little bit longer than usual, but I wanted to show you a kind of full beat making process on the Mark II and using an external bit of gear to grab some sounds as well. So really enjoyed making this one. Let me know your thoughts on the beat. Obviously these beats, you know, they're not the best things that I've ever made, but they're just kind of fun to make and show you guys some techniques on the Mark II. So I hope you learned something, and yeah, I'll catch you all again in the next video.